Hey guys, so this past January and Feb, I played club champs at a local club that I joined. So previously, I'd only been playing like social tennis and games and maybe some practice sets, but never like full-on matches. So this was my this was my second match, but my first attempt at actually playing matches. My first match, I messed up the recording, but I lost 6-1, 6-1. I was very nervous, very tense. It was my first match, quite tough. Today I'm playing against Alicia, who's been playing tennis since she was in kindergarten, so I think that's about 20 years. So naturally she's very good. There was like a huge gap in terms of skill level between obviously her 20 plus years of experience and my 5 months of playing tennis. And going in, I definitely knew that this was going to be like a war zone. And the thing that I think like was very scary about having to play Alicia was her serves. Like they are like huge, 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 huge. And I don't think at that point I'd played anyone with serves that big. Like even when I played social tennis, a lot of the guys would slow down their serves for me, so I didn't really have much practice returning such big serves. And also just her ground strokes. She has like a very like big, powerful forehand. Yeah, and as you can see, like that kick serve that she has, which bounces up really high. I had just never experienced that. Yeah, watching the footage back, you can really see my inexperience showing, like, in terms of just court positioning. That's something I've been trying to work on, just like being aware of where I am in the court and the point and all of that. Because, yeah, I did find that watching back, I was caught a lot in no man's land, like just standing there instead of like fully recovering. And then, I'd be out of position, which makes it very, very difficult. And that's the other thing, slices. I absolutely, to this day, I still struggle with slices, but I'd say back then I struggled with slices way, way more. Like, I wouldn't be able to read where the ball is going. So it was just difficult for me. But now I've learned, I've been getting help in terms of, needing to make small adjustment steps and watching the opponent to see that they've sliced. So like here, like I would know she sliced, but I didn't know how to react, what to do. I was definitely trying different things to see, how I can get a serve back. So at this point, I tried, or just unfortunate there with the net court, but I tried chipping the ball back, and I had some luck with that. I was able to get more returns in if I chipped it back. So I did make a lot of unforced errors, naturally, given the state of things. But I also think Alicia hit a lot of winners as well, so that was very impressive. Just double faulting to lose that game. Things like that, definitely, I think, playing the tennis was difficult, but mentally it was difficult for me to get over, just thinking, oh, I double faulted and I lost. It's one of those balls that drops in thanks to some topspin. Okay, you can see I'm trying to stand a bit closer to take the second serve because I noticed it was kicking up on me, so I didn't want to be too far back, and it worked out on that occasion. The backhand, I was definitely still struggling with my returns, especially when they went up so high, just struggling with it. But yeah, she takes the first set, 6-love. Yeah, it's just things like that where I think not too bad, but the footwork could be like really worked on. And there you see one thing that I do with my serve that I'm trying to fix, which is tossing it way too far out to the right. In fact, I kind of hurt my shoulder doing that. So I've been trying to toss more at 1 o'clock. And it's still something I'm working on. Intense moments, in like tough pressure moments, I find myself going back to tossing so far out and then slicing all my serves. But yeah, that means something I'm trying to work on. And tossing the ball high. My toss is so low. Oh, heartbreaking. Another double fault to lose a game. It's just difficult to get over mentally. I think that if I had to play Alicia a game, I'd definitely be like watching my footwork and staying further back, because obviously she's hitting so big, and you know, the most important thing is to like stay on your feet and to you know, to have really good footwork to get in position to get that. Otherwise it's just going to be, you know, unforced errors galore. But let me know what you guys would do if you were facing a player, you know, just of such a, where there's such a big gap between, you know, your skill levels, and especially just like mentally, like how do you go into that? Like what do you think as you're playing, you know, like what mental strategies do you employ to make sure that you at least play your best game and not necessarily you might not win, but at least you don't go out there feeling like, and I played terribly. I know Brad Gilbert's like strategy or theory is that you've got to make your opponent not play their best game, so like find ways to throw him off. But I just don't think at that point, or even at this point now where I am today, that I have the tennis toolbox or intuition to, you know, do such a thing. But maybe I need to think into it, look into it. Oh, see, things like that just get in your head, because it's like, I know it was a slice, you know, and they'll be like, watch your opponent. I did watch my opponent. I saw it as a slice. I knew that I was not having much luck hitting top spin shots on the slices. So I tried to go in and, you know, just slice it back. But yeah, didn't work out. And yeah, for the first time in the game, I have 2 break points. It's very exciting. But of course, Alicia is an experienced player, so she manages to easily save the first break point. And she hits a big serve to save the second one. I predicted wrong there. I thought she was going to go down the line, but I also think moving into that position before she's even hit the serve might not have been the wisest thing to do. But yeah, at that point I was hopeful. I was like, maybe I'll get a game. But then I ended up not getting the game because obviously Alicia was clutch in that moment. And that might have, you know, been very demotivating for me. But still, we've got to play on. You can see my frustration. Ah! I think watching these games back, at least after a couple of weeks, it's, I don't know, it's refreshing. Like, it's not as painful, obviously, because I'm like way over the defeat, but it's also like I see the things that I was doing wrong in the match, and it's good to have that reassurance because I have been working on those things, like my serve toss location and height, my footwork to get into position for balls, my court positioning, just trying to be aware of where I am in the court. And I've also been working on my consistency, just being like getting that one extra ball in play and trying to get it just nice and deep down the center. So not too disparaged. And that's the game. Yeah, and these are the stats. So obviously Alicia's first serve points very high, 92%. She did amazing. I think my first serve points were very, very low. Second serve points just 0%. And yeah, but nonetheless I had fun and I learned a lot.